Let's trace the path of sperm through the body. We start with the seminiferous tubules, which are where the sperm are produced. The sperm are then sent to the efferent ductules, which are basically just small tubes that carry the sperm to the epididymis. The epididymis is where sperm are stored and matured. Upon ejaculation, the sperm will leave the epididymis, go into the vas deferens or ductus deferens, then to the ejaculatory duct, and then to the urethra. The seminiferous tubules, efferent ductules, and epididymis are structures found in the testes. In this video, we're going to take a look at the vas deferens, the ejaculatory duct, and the accessory glands to the male reproductive system. Each testis has a vas deferens, and the job of the vas deferens is to carry sperm from the epididymis of the testes to the ejaculatory duct during the process of ejaculation. The vas deferens has 3 layers of muscle around it, which contract during the process of ejaculation, helping to propel the sperm out of the male's body. And the vas deferens actually travels a really strange path, and that is basically because of that process of gonadal descent. So the vas deferens go up from the testes, loop around the ureters, come back down past the bladder to the urethra, which is sort of odd, but that's just the way it works. A vasectomy is a process that occurs with the vas deferens. This is a form of contraception that results in sterilization. During a vasectomy, each vas deferens is cut and then tied off or cauterized, and this means that sperm that leave the epididymis will not be able to travel to outside of the male's body. Sperm will travel from the vas deferens to a small tube called the ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory duct forms where the right and left vas deferens meet, just superior to the prostate gland. The ejaculatory duct then runs through a lot of the prostate gland, but eventually it changes names to the prostatic urethra. The job of the ejaculatory duct is, of course, to carry sperm from the vas deferens to the prostatic urethra. There are 3 major accessory glands to the male reproductive system: the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral glands. These accessory glands are creating the fluid part of semen. Don't forget, semen is composed of both cells and fluids. We already talked about the production of sperm, spermatogenesis, so now we'll look at the production of the fluid portion of semen. The seminal vesicles are forming the majority of the fluid part of semen. They release their product directly into the ejaculatory duct. The seminal vesicles are basically located right where the vas deferens is meeting the ejaculatory duct. In terms of composition, the seminal vesicle secretions contain a lot of sugars, and this is actually food for the sperm. The fluid also contains prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are very potent local hormones. So these are hormones that aren't released into the bloodstream. They're not endocrine hormones, and they tend to act more locally. And what's sort of interesting here is that these prostaglandins don't really function in the male. They have a function in the female. So when the semen is released into the female's reproductive tract, these prostaglandins enhance contractions of the female reproductive organs, helping to propel sperm towards the egg. Like the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland also releases its secretion into the ejaculatory duct. However, the function of this secretion is different. The prostate gland is producing a very alkaline secretion, and this is really important because the alkaline nature of this secretion will buffer the acidic nature of the fluid inside the urethra. So sperm have to travel through the same tube as urine, the urethra. Urine is acidic, and there's some urine left over in that urethra. So the secretions, the alkaline secretions of the prostate gland, buffer that acidic urine because that urine would kill the sperm if we didn't have a buffer there. Additionally, the secretions of the vagina are also acidic, and again, this alkaline fluid from the prostate gland is going to buffer the fluids in the vagina, creating an environment where the sperm can actually live. There are some problems that occur with the prostate gland. Prostatic hypertrophy is enlargement of the prostate gland, and this is very common with age, and it's problematic because it can squeeze on the urethra, and that can cause urinary incontinence, an inability to control urination. Sometimes a prostatectomy has to be performed where they remove the prostate gland. Prostate cancer is something that also occurs. It is, I believe, the second most common form of cancer in men. There are several treatments for prostate cancer, but this cancer, if left untreated, can become metastatic and can lead to death. The bulbourethral gland is also known as the Cowper's gland. It releases its secretions into the spongy urethra, which is the urethra that's running through the penis. The secretions of this gland are thick and salty, and they're thought to be important for lubricating the end of the penis and lubricating the vagina, which will help during intercourse. The salty nature of the secretion is also thought to help clean urine residues from the urethra.